Well, an effort to revive a historic landmark in Little Rock moves one step closer to reality. The Dreamland Ballroom was once the epicenter of the Black community on 9th Street. The state has granted nonprofit status to the group working on the restoration.
If you haven't heard or are wondering what the Friends of Dreamland nonprofit is, it's a group of everyday people who in 2009 united in the mission, or maybe I should say vision, of saving the Dreamland Ballroom. And now you're thinking, what's the Dreamland Ballroom? It's the third floor of the Taborian Hall in downtown Little Rock, Arkansas, that was built in 1917 by the International Order of 12 Knights and Daughters of Tabor.
The hall, located here on the corner of 9th and State Streets, is the only remaining historic building that bears testimony of what used to be called Little Rock's Little Harlem. Some people suggest McCoy turn it into apartments or a restaurant, but her only goal is to make it an event center which doubles as a museum and an educational facility. She says out-of-towners come every week for tours of the old ballroom, and that only reinforces why she wants the renovations done.
There's a bunch of people here in this city that have different points of view about you having this building. And I would go out and fight for that and say, look.
Just go ahead and say it. I said it's going to be a brave conversation. Yeah. I'm white. I own a black person's building.
Right. But the thing is that the community had let the building decay over, 20 years or more? Because it's been a long time.
It was months from the wrecking ball.
It was one of the last buildings on 9th Street other than Mosaic Templars, which burned. And then they reconstructed it pretty much the same way as it was. But I'm thinking this woman came in and spent her money, her time, and her energy and put this thing back on the map. Why are you upset? If I see you fall out of a plane and I'm Superman and I catch you, why are you mad because I wrinkled your pants on the way down?
It is a jewel in the crown of Little Rock, Arkansas, and we need to make sure that we preserve it and keep it.
Next for McCoy is fundraising. She's planning the first event for October 2010. Renovations should start in 2011. And Ashley, the place should be open to the public by 2012.
You talked about when you take somebody upstairs, like when you did it the first time or two. To be able to talk to people about Dreamland and list off all the names and talk to them, I know they're seeing me lighten up and be passionate and start, like Matthew, banging on the table, and my voice gets higher, and it's just the electricity of being involved in that place. And then when you start to take people for tours, or when you're up there and, I ran Dancing into Dreamland for a number of years, and you see all these performers who've done the research, they know what's going on, and then they walk in there and they see this cathedral to performing. It's just magical. I mean, it's just, there's no tiring of people's reaction whenever they breach the stairwell and open up into this giant cathedral. It's just magical. It really is.
And it's that way, like, empty,
Yeah,
and so
like
so when you have people, or you're the person performing, or you're the person seeing the performance in there, like, I always say the ghosts come out of the wall. Like, an energy is like palpable. That something comes out of those old walls, and it's
to see, and I refer to it as like to see the old girl all dolled up for Dancing into Dreamland when you've got the lights and the sound.
I kind of thought he was for a minute too.
I'm not talking about her.
The old girl all dolled up.
Okay, come on back.
But the tables with the tablecloths and the decorations and everybody walking around with wine glasses, and they're in their Sunday best, and and people are dancing and stuff. It takes you back to, oh my gosh. And there's that great scene in the documentary where they actually have people dancing and a jazz band playing. It's just remarkable to see it come to life. You're right. It is amazing when you walk in and you've got all that, you said gravity earlier. But it's also great to see her all dolled up and actually being used for, like we talked about, bring the party back. Actually see a party in there. Oh yeah. That's good stuff.
Thanks to all your generous donations, the ballroom has come such a long way from when Carrie McCoy purchased it in the early 90s. In 2020, we were finally able to complete Phase 1 of getting an elevator to make Taborian Hall ADA compliant for the first time in over 100 years. But our work is far from over. If you would like to learn more, donate, or buy a brick, please go to dreamlandballroom.org. Thank you so much for watching, and keep dreaming.